working on my Kwanzaa tour this year. It appears we're going to do Kwanzaa all through Florida. It's going to be a Florida Kwanzaa, first time ever. Dr. Umar in Florida for Kwanzaa. Jacksonville on December the 26th, first day of Kwanzaa. Orlando, December the 27th, second day of Kwanzaa. Then we're going to go down to Pompano Beach, right outside of Fort Lauderdale. So my Fort Lauderdale family, you're going to have to come about 20 minutes to Pompano Beach, Florida. That will be on Saturday, the third day of Kwanzaa. Sunday will probably be West Palm. Okay, and then Monday will probably be Miami. So we putting together the Florida Kwanzaa tour. If you live in Florida, and I've never been to your city, you need to get at me. As long as you got a venue. If you don't have a place where I can do the lecture, don't waste my time. But if you know of a place in your Florida city where I can do the lecture, shoot me a text and we can make it happen. Make sure y'all donate to the Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey Academy. Make sure y'all donate to the Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey Academy. FDMG Academy, P.O. Box 9634, Wilmington, Delaware 19809, 9634, Wilmington, Delaware 19809. Get those donations in. We're trying to raise $1 million to restore the Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey Academy. We're going to start with the Marcus Garvey building. If we don't get enough funds, we'll just do the one school. But if we can get $1 million, we can do all 4 buildings, the entire campus. Be ready to open next year. Marcus Garvey Block Party. Get them donations in. We're no longer using Cash App. Cash App has been causing problems. They're not telling me why they're causing problems. They're not communicating. I think it's sabotage. So no more Cash App, all check and money order, as well as bringing your donation to today's event in Nashville, bringing your donation to Connecticut's event next Saturday in Bridgeport. Oh, I almost left out Pontiac, Michigan. Pontiac, Michigan. The Prince of Pan-Africanism will be in Pontiac, Michigan for the first time ever. On Wednesday, September the 18th, Pontiac, Michigan. It's going to be a live interview lecture, and it's going to be live streamed with a special guest audience. If you want tickets to that, shoot me a text. Shout out to Detroit. I ain't seen Detroit since New Year's Day 2018. I haven't forgot you, but I'm sure a lot of my Detroit family will come out to Pontiac on Wednesday, September the 18th. Okay, Florida, we working on Kwanzaa. If you got any venues I can use in Florida, we need something in Miami. Okay, we looking at St. Lucie. We looking at Rosewood, Florida. We looking at Tallahassee. We looking at all different types of possible venues for the Florida event. With no further delay, I want to go to the phones. 857-232-0158. Questions about the children. We're going to focus on the children. If there's not a lot of questions about the children, we might do general questions, but it's about the babies right now. I want to focus on the babies right now. So if you have a question that's not about the babies, I'm going to ignore you right now because we're not on that. Again, you can text your question, email your question as well. Okay. I got a text question. What is your stance on our children joining the military? I don't support it. I don't support black children going into the military, especially not now, because peacetime has been over since the election of George W. Bush. Y2K, peacetime is over. Once upon a time, you could go into the military. You know, there was a peaceful time for maybe about 20 years. You didn't have to worry about seeing no service. Now you will see service. And without any type of college education, you're going to end up in the infantry or in some other disposable type of profession. So I don't support the military. Black folks ain't got no business fighting white folks' wars. Do we have a question on the line this morning? Make sure y'all mute your phones on the call. But if somebody got a question, all you got to do is state a city and state. Once I hear a city and state, I'll know that person has a question.
Hello?
Yes. Where are you calling from?
Sharon Hill, Pennsylvania.
Sharon Hill, Pennsylvania, my neck of the woods. Go right ahead, Queen.
I don't have a question, but I wanted you to just talk about
You breaking up. You breaking up a little bit, goddess. See if you can move that phone.
Well, is it been a school year? We should not be getting our children evaluated for anything this early in the school year.
That is correct. We should not be getting our children evaluated for anything this early in the school year. Absolutely. Unless, you know, it was a speech problem from last year, unless you've already suspected autism, unless they're blind, unless they're deaf, unless they have some sort of an orthopedic impairment, unless they have some sort of health issue that requires immediate attention. But absolutely, there should be no evaluations this early in the year for learning disabilities, which you cannot prove anyway, for emotional disturbances, which you cannot prove anyway, for mild mental retardation, which you can't prove anyway, for ADHD, conduct disorder, ODD. You're absolutely correct, my sister. There should be no evaluations this early in the year for the major special ed disabilities, because, you know, deafness and blindness and brain injuries and orthopedic impairments, they're not major in terms of prevalence. We don't see them a lot. Okay, what we see all the time is the so-called learning disability, the so-called emotional disturbance, the so-called mild mental retardation, and the so-called ADHD conduct disorder. Okay. Please mute your phone. Okay. Okay. Okay, here's what we're going to have to do, family. Here's what we're going to have to do. I think I know who that is disrupting the call. I think I know who that is disrupting the call. Yes. Is that you, brother, with all the noise in the background?
Oh, yeah, sorry about that. Hold on 1 second. Yeah, sorry, I didn't realize I cut in on the call.
No problem. Go right ahead. Where you calling from, black man?
Brooklyn, New York.
Brooklyn. Stand up. Go right ahead, brother.
Question. I have a 4-year-old, actually going on 5. Is there any schooling you could recommend to me in Brooklyn or close by that I could have her enroll in to get that, you know, that good education, African education coming up?
Not that I personally know of. I do know that there are some African-centered schools and homeschool networks in Brooklyn. None that I can state off the top of my lip. I also know that there's also a, what is the name of that school? I think there's a Claire Muhammad school in New York as well that's run by, I believe, a sister from the Nation of Islam. But if you send me a text message, I will send you the name of an elder that you can call, and she will be able to put you in touch with all the independent schools in New York. She has a very firm grasp of what's going on in the community, and she'll be able to do that. Do you have my cell number?
No, I don't think so. I have the email, Dr. Umar at Yahoo, right?
Yes, but my cell number is 215 989 9858.
9858. All right.
Yeah. So,
All right, so
yeah,
yes.
text me. I would say text me tomorrow or Monday, because today I'm focused on the event here in Nashville. But if you text me tomorrow or Monday, I'll be able to get that to you.
All right, respect.
Got it.
All right, bless.
All right.
Florida?
Florida? Where at in Florida?
Pompano Beach.
What beach? Pompano. Thank you for correcting me, sister. Pompano Beach. I will be there the Saturday of Kwanzaa, Saturday, December the 28th, I guess that is. It's the Saturday of Kwanzaa. And I'm going to need you to help me get the word out. So before you ask your question, I'm going to make sure you have my cell number, because you're my new best friend, because I need to know how to get the word out about the event in Pompano. Do you have my cell phone, good sister?
I don't. Can you let me know what it is again?
Okay. You ready to take it down?
I'm ready.
215 989 9858. 215 989 9858.
Okay, I got it.
Gotcha. Go right ahead with your question.
Now, my question is, our black children, they have to have a strong sense of self. My question is, how can we teach our children to have that really strong sense of self without feeling in competition with their peers? Because I find that, our black kids are always fighting with one another, and it's not a competition. So how can we teach our children to, have that strong sense of self without having the, it's not a competition. You don't have to fight with your peers. Do you know what I mean?
Very good question. There's two parts to my answer, or two aspects to my answer regarding this issue of making sure our children have a strong sense of self that's not rooted in competing with and dominating or outperforming other children. First part of the question is, we live in the United States of America, which is a Eurocentric culture that is based on competition and domination. So the culture we live in is about outdoing other people. That is white culture. That's what they do. Okay, they don't believe in collectivism. Okay, they don't believe in collective work and responsibility. They don't believe in equality or justice. They believe in domination and control. That's the culture we live in. Because of that, the school systems that our children attend, the schools that they participate in, have also been influenced by that same culture. So the schools by design are competitive. And the reason the schools by design are competitive in European culture, particularly in the United States, is because this country has no interest in taking care of everyone in it. This country has no interest in taking care of everyone in it. Because of that, they want the children to compete. Black, white, orange, green, purple. They want them to compete and outdo one another as a way of proving to the power structure that they are worthy of inclusion. So the way you get noticed by the power structure, okay, the Harvards, the Yales, the way you get noticed by them is by outdoing the competition. It's not about uniting. It's not about working together. It is about proving yourself by dominating the competition. That's how you get chosen, because if you don't do that, you'll never get chosen. We live in a capitalist society that is driven by power and greed. Capitalism is a monetary system that is based upon greed, total control of resources and opportunities. In such a society, there is never enough room for everyone. In such a society, there will always be a large percentage of poor people, a large percentage of have-nots. That is capitalism. So there will always be homeless people. There will always be hungry people. There will always be clothless people. There will always be incarcerated people, because America don't care about everybody. Only those that can help the power brokers continue their carnage and exploitation of world resources. With that being said, there's no change in the system, because the system is based on competition and only has enough spaces for a few people. The other part of this answer is rooted in the self-hate of African people. So separate from the fact that European culture depends on competition amongst its children to prove their worthiness for inclusion in its unhealthy, inhumane economic and political system, you also have the self-hate of the Negro, which is a byproduct of that capitalism, a byproduct of that racism. And the self-hatred of the Negro, which can probably be summarized in the words of Will Smith, when he said, black people spend too much money they do not have, buying things they can't afford, okay, to impress people they don't even like. Okay, so we have a competition amongst ourselves as Africans in America to outdo each other in the name of self-hate. In other words, if I cannot be the best Negro, then obviously I'm nobody at all. Because after all, black people ain't shit. This is the mindset. Black people ain't shit. So if I can't be the best of black people, then I'm obviously not anybody. So in the consciousness of Negroes, within our psyche, embedded trained, reinforced through parents, society, hip hop music, for example. The entire hip hop culture is based on competing with and destroying other rappers. That's the whole culture. There's no working together. It's all about being the HNIC. Our whole culture is about being the head Negro in charge by any means necessary. Becoming the head Negro in charge by any means necessary. So we have two problems. You have a European culture that is based on competition because it doesn't have enough room for everybody. And then you have a reactionary Negro culture that is based on self-hate, which is also about outdoing other black folks. So what is the solution? The solution is twofold. Number one, you said, how do we teach the children that? Well, number one, by doing just that, teaching them, directly telling them, this is not how we live. This is not how our ancestors live. This is not the culture of African people. We have to teach them that directly out front. But we also have to model that. So our children need to see us as adults actively engaging in collective behavior, collective work and responsibility, collective support, which is something we don't do a lot of. Which is something we do not do a lot of. Black people are constantly comparing themselves to each other. Constantly comparing ourselves to each other. We don't even notice white folks. We don't even notice the Chinese buying up the neighborhood. We don't even notice them because we're too busy trying to outdo one another. Why do you have rappers with 10 cars, but they come from neighborhoods without one single school for black kids? You got 10 automobiles in your parking lot, but there's not a single school for black children in the ghetto that you come from because they don't care about collective improvement. It's all about individualism. In fact, I would probably argue that black folks have achieved a level of individualism that might exceed white folks. We may be more individualistic than they are. We absolutely may very well be. So yes, you have to teach them directly, but the solution to all of this is we have to build schools. We have to build schools. And those schools cannot be based on competition as well. Because we have a lot of black charter schools, right? But a lot of them are based on competition. So all they do is take the European model of education and socialization and they paint it black. They take the European model of education and socialization and they paint it black. That's not progress. Just like we took the presidency of the United States and Barack Hussein Obama and we painted the president black. Same racism, same white supremacy, same capitalism, same police genocide, same mass incarceration, same unemployment, but we painted it black, and black people even now consider Obama to have been progress. Can't name one thing that benefited black people because he was there, but we consider it progress whenever racism wears a black face. When racism wears a black face, that is never progress. Racism is racism, no matter the color of the person that's carrying it out. One of the reasons I'm so focused on building the Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey Academy, and again, I want to thank all the brothers and sisters who supported and donated us through this process because it was a tough process. But as we sit here today, thanking the Lord and, being gracious for what the ancestors have helped us do, we have 2 schools in Wilmington. 2 schools in Wilmington. But now we have to renovate those schools. We have to renovate those schools. This coming week, we got a $40,000 Newcastle County tax bill we got to pay. We got a $20,000 City of Wilmington tax bill we got to pay. Okay, we have to pay a water bill every month. We got to pay a city operations bill. We got all kind of bills coming in. So when y'all donate, a lot of that money going right back out. So if we're not donating more than we're putting out, we will never reach our goal. So everybody have to step their donations up. If you was giving $20 a month, you got to give $50. If you was giving $50 a month, you got to give $100. If you was giving $100 a month, you got to give $200 in order for us to cross the finish line. But socialization is how we teach our kids to stop competing with each other. Book learning and speeches are only going to go so far. Book learning and speeches are only going to go so far. So for example, when you learn how to do hair, when you learn how to cut hair. So I was trained how to cut hair in high school, right? First, there's some book learning, right? They teach you how to cut hair. But just because they taught you how to cut hair, okay, And even though they modeled for you how to cut hair, you can never learn how to cut hair until you actually start cutting hair. So if we want our children to participate in a collectivist consciousness and in a collectivist culture and community, we have to show them how and make them do it. And that is socialization. Education is the information. Socialization is the behavior. Education is the information. Socialization is the behavior. Education is the information. Socialization is the behavior. And that's how we get that done.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Queen. Make sure you send me a text because I'm going to need you to help me out. We only got about 4 months. I know that seems like a long time, but it's not. And I don't know the first thing about Pompano Beach, so maybe I got some, I don't know, black bookstores, cultural center, black talk show. But we'll talk about that. But please make sure you send me a text, Queen, because I'm going to need your help.
Absolutely. We'll make it happen.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Pompano Beach, Florida. The Prince of Pan-Africanism is coming to town for the first time Saturday of Kwanzaa. Jacksonville. I apologize to Jacksonville. I had to cancel last weekend's lecture in Jacksonville, Florida to attend the funeral of a very, very special childhood friend. And then I had to turn around and cancel Orlando because of Hurricane Dorian and the airport shut down. So to make it up to Jacksonville and Orlando, you will be my first 2 stops on the Kwanzaa tour. Jacksonville, the first day of Kwanzaa, December 26th. Orlando, the second day of Kwanzaa, December 27th. And then Pompano Beach debut Saturday of Kwanzaa, the 28th, 26th, 27th, 28th. And then we're going to work our way down to West Palm Beach, Miami, and we're looking for 1 or 2 other stops. So it's going to be a Florida Kwanzaa. Do we have another question on the line this morning? Live from Wilmington, Delaware. Dr. Umar, I live in Wilmington and I teach leadership and development and empowerment through community building in Wilmington. How can I help you with the young men in your school? This is a wonderful and much needed school that you are bringing to our city. Thank you, family. First you can do is email me your resume. Anyone who wants to work at the school should send me a resume. fdmgresumes@gmail.com. fdmgresumes@gmail.com. Second, you can invite me out to be a guest presenter at one of your leadership development and empowerment seminars. I would love to do that. I would love to do that. So just hit me up, but send me that resume. That goes for everybody interested in working at the school. Send your resumes to fdmgresumes@gmail.com. Next question. Are HBCUs considered white institutions? Well, that depends on how you define them. I would not consider HBCUs white institutions, not all of them, because many of them were founded by black folks. But a lot of HBCUs were founded by the states where they exist. So a HBCU that was founded by the state where it exists technically is a white school. It's white funded. It was started by whites and it's controlled by whites. But then you have HBCUs that were founded by black people. Okay, so those I would not consider white institutions. However, HBCUs, in my humble opinion, are too dependent on white money for their survival. They are way too dependent on white money for their survival. And because of that, I would fearfully but reservedly say that in the next couple years, they may be all considered white institutions. For example, Howard University, which is generally considered the mecca of HBCUs, is at risk of no longer being a predominantly African-American institution. Howard University has the largest percentage of non-African-American students and is in jeopardy of no longer being an HBCU if the current trend continues. But Howard University was founded by the government, funded by the government. We can go to Bluefield State University in Bluefield, West Virginia. That is no longer an HBCU. Bluefield State has been colonized by the European, and it is now a predominantly white institution. It is no longer an HBCU. Okay? So that's the answer. Next question. I operate a private school in Tampa. Are you familiar with an African-centered K-12 social studies curriculum? There are a couple of African-centered K-12 curriculums that are out there. Tampa, Florida, your private school. Do you have a building for me in Tampa? I need a venue in Tampa. I need a Kwanzaa lecture venue in Tampa? Any ideas? But yes, get in contact with me, Tampa, Florida. I'm going to give you a couple names of some brothers and sisters you can look up for your K-12 social studies curriculum. Next question. Chicago. How do you work things out with a bitter baby mama? Speaking from a man on experience which a woman refuses a child to still see her dad. Speak on the family dysfunction that displays. I don't think I need to say much. I think we all know that there's a lot of bitter women out there who will keep your child from you if it's the only way they can make you suffer for not being with them. Okay? I've been through it. Okay? Other men have been through it. And all we can do is urge other black women to speak up, not for the man, but speak up for the children's right to have a relationship with their daddy. Too many women are denying men access to their children for bitter personal reasons, and they are affecting the healthy psychosocial development of their sons and daughters for personal reasons. And so all we can do is ask black women to stand up, and we can ask our elders to stand up and help bring an end to the trauma that is caused by baby mama. I'm gonna call it baby mama trauma. And I define baby mama trauma as the trauma created by selfish black women. Some black women, not all, because most of our sisters are not like that, but selfish black women who will deny children access to their father. I call that baby mama trauma. And we have to do something about baby mama trauma because it is a very big problem. Okay? Next question. Can we get tickets to the door in Nashville today? Today's event is free and it is outdoor. So there are no tickets and there are no doors. I repeat, today's event here in Nashville is free and it is outdoors. So you don't need any tickets and there are no doors. We will be in East Park, 12 to 5. Prince of Pan-Africanism will take the stage at 2 o'clock. Next cell phone question is, how can I become one of your co-wives? I'm gonna skip that one for now. Okay. How many people are you expecting for your event in Tampa? 300. Next question. Dr. Umar, why do white people value the life of animals more than the life of African Americans? Because they hate us. That's the answer. And they hate you for 3 reasons. They hate you because of your historical accomplishments. They hate you because of your intellectual, spiritual potential. And they hate you because of your genetic predominance over all other human families, meaning that the black man can reproduce himself with any other woman. The black woman can reproduce herself with any other man. Nobody can reproduce themselves in the African. If you want to get rid of Africans, you got to kill them because you cannot reproduce us out of existence. We have always been and we shall always be until the supreme ruler of the universe decides that the time has come to get rid of us. And when the creator gets rid of Africans, the creator will also get rid of the universe, because there's no universe without the African. We are the original man. We are the original woman of the universe. We are the chosen people. That's why they hate you. Until you get to know yourself, you won't stop hating yourself either. We have to take the European consciousness out of the African psyche. We have to take the European consciousness out of the African psyche. And the only way we can do that is through independent, African-centered, revolutionary, Marcus Garvey type Pan-African liberation, education, and socialization. That's the only solution. I'm not interested in anything if it ain't Garvey. If you're not talking Marcus Garvey, I don't want to hear from you. Okay? I am serious about this. This is Pan-Africanism or it is perish. It is unify or die. It is Africa or extermination. Any other questions on the call this morning?
All right, Dr. Umar, thank you for your advice.
No problem, no problem. Good luck with that. Good luck with that.
All right, bye.
All right. No, I'm here for another night.
Oh, okay.
Another night, and I'm okay. Because I didn't check in till late, so.
Oh.
Yeah, no worries.
Okay.
Okay, Mama? All right, no problem, no problem. Oops. I thought they smelled my incense, but they was coming to clean the room. I thought I got in trouble for my incense. But anyway, I'm going to conclude at this time because it's 11 o'clock here in Nashville and I need to get ready to present this afternoon. If you live in Nashville, Memphis, Chattanooga, Knoxville, Tennessee, Indiana, Arkansas, Nashville, the state of Tennessee touches 5 different states, the Carolinas. I'll be speaking today from 2 until 4 o'clock. The event is from 12 until 5, and it will be followed by, I believe, a kickball game or something. So we basically going to be out there for a while. We're going to be out there till sundown. So come on out, shake my hand. Ladies, give me a hug. Haters, tell me how much you don't like me. Come take your picture. Come get a book, whatever you need to do. But I'm here in Nashville, first time in 5 years, second time ever. We will be at the East Park, 12 to 5. Food, music, games, enjoyment. Please donate to the School Brothers and Sisters FDMG Academy. Check or money order, P.O. Box 9634, Wilmington, Delaware 19809. You could donate to the Shockumentary and all my other personal works by going to PayPal. My PayPal email address is umarthepsychologist@yahoo.com. The link is paypal.me/umarthepsychologist. If you need to reach me, you can text me 215-989-9858. You can email me, drumarjohnson@yahoo.com. Don't forget, you can purchase your unapologetically African clothing at drumarjohnson.com. We will have hoodies coming out soon for the fall. It's about to get chilly outside, so we will have a whole entree of unapologetically African hoodies at drumarjohnson.com. I just launched a podcast site where I'm going to be doing regular podcasts. I have one up there now on why you should not get your child evaluated for ADHD. If anyone is thinking about getting their child evaluated for ADHD, please go to the podcast, unapologeticallyafrican.com. We spell Africa with a K. It costs $5 for the podcast. Download it, listen to it. No more ADHD. We have to declare war on ADHD. Bridgeport, Connecticut, I will see you Saturday. Coming up, Messiah Church, looking forward to it. Memphis, Tennessee, I will see you October the 5th. Looking forward to that. Pontiac, Michigan, I will see you September the 18th. Looking forward to that. If anyone would like to invite me out to speak for a seminar, for a conference, remember, I do not charge for the children, okay, unless you're charging for the children or unless you have a lot of money to pay. But if you need me to come speak at the prison, the halfway house, the juvenile detention center, the jail, I don't charge for those types of things, okay? So get in contact with your brother, 8444 Dr. Umar Johnson. 8444 DRUMAR. This is the Prince of Pan-Africanism. One love. Signing out. Black Power. All right.